Look what's happening in Canada right now. Trudeau's government isn't just failing, it's disintegrating in real time. His finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, well, she just resigned hours before presenting crucial budget numbers. And then her replacement quit immediately after. Why? Well, because Trump's 25% tariff threat exposed their economic house of cards. And now they are freaking out by the rhetoric of Canada becoming the 51st state, and intelligence sources are 98% certain that Trudeau's resignation is imminent. The globalist regime to our north is crumbling, and Trump's strategic pressure is forcing a reckoning that could reshape North America forever. And speaking of crumbling regimes, let's talk about something else that's falling apart. I'm talking about your body's collagen production. Just like Trudeau's government is showing signs of age and decay, your skin loses about 12% of its collagen every decade after 20. But unlike Canada's collapse, this is something you can prevent. Using BioTrust Advanced Collagen Formula featuring 5 essential collagen types, you can fight back against aging and maintain your youthful appearance. Visit healthwithgary.com, link below, for an exclusive 51% discount. It's a bigger drop than the Canadian dollar. Plus, get free VIP health coaching for life. We thank our sponsors for making this happen. Now, a couple days ago, President Trump, gotta love him, joked about Canada becoming the 51st state, and he received an award at a Fox Nation event, and he brought it up again.
Like this one. As you know, I spoke with Canada, and Justin came flying right in because we talked about 25% tariffs. That's just a beginner. This is a hell of a nice crowd. I like this one. This is a nice crowd. Yeah. That's an interesting statement. Thank you very much. I do appreciate all that pent-up anger and love. It's everything at one time.
The crowd is chanting 51, 51. Open source intel. Trump is making Canada uneasy by suggesting it become the 51st state, stating he looks forward to meeting the governor again. And of course, they just don't know how to take a joke up there in Canada.
Do you have any thoughts? Trump on his Truth Social this morning greeted the Prime Minister as the governor of the 51st state, something along that line. Have you seen that? Do you have any thoughts about that, about the dynamics of the relationship?
I haven't seen that, but so I probably should comment. Just that with the Truth Social post of Donald Trump planting a Canadian flag on a Canadian mountain, I have to say that to the extent that this 51st state thing was a joke, it's not funny. And I find that pursuing it on social media makes me increasingly nervous. Mr. Trump has, we have to be very, very careful with the president-elect, and we have to pull together, I think, all opposition party leaders and premiers, all elements of the Canadian political establishment, such as we are, better pull together to make sure we don't create any cracks that allow Fox News or Mr. Trump's social media to exploit us and say things about Canada that aren't true.
Well, now Canada is falling apart. Before I get to that, let's flash back to this.
From two people. And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Brett.
Did you hear what he said there, though? Listen.
Dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy,
New tariffs would kill the Canadian economy. That is what Trudeau said. Now, Kyle Becker, speaking of flashbacks, posted this. If you want to know why Justin Trudeau is on the verge of resigning as Canada's Prime Minister, this woman says it all in just 22 seconds.
We do with trade. You've sold us out to globalism. Okay.
You are not working for Canada. You are working for your globalist partners. I wonder how much they're paying you to betray Canada. What do we do with traitors in Canada, Mr. Trudeau? We used to hang them for treason. And you're doing that very same thing to us now.
Okay. Wow.
You've sold us out to global.
So that's some of the sentiment up in the Great White North. The end of an era 10 hours ago. Trudeau's resignation looms. Freedom for Canada. Canada, brace yourself. Serious rumors are swirling, and intelligence sources are 98% certain Justin Trudeau is about to resign as Prime Minister. But that's not all. His right hand and architect of countless globalist policies, Chrystia Freeland, has already stepped down. Together, they've pushed Canada into deeper debt, undermined freedoms, and put globalist agendas ahead of Canadians' well-being. This could be the turning point we've been waiting for, a chance to reclaim our country, rebuild, and restore freedom for all Canadians. Without them, we can finally focus on our true values and independence. Stay tuned. A brighter future may be just around the corner. Jim Ferguson posting that 10 hours ago. And we have this. Andrew Scheer. He is a Regina Quapplet MP, second Conservative Party leader, 35th HOC Speaker, principled conservative, defender of economic freedom and human rights. And this is what he had to say about what's going on. But I got some video here. The meltdowns today were crazy. Let's play Andrew's remarks.
He's trying to tell. So Justin Trudeau today tabled his economic update after his finance minister resigned rather than go through the humiliation of delivering the bad news. And it's full of crazy stuff. He's trying to tell Canadians that they've never had it so good. He's saying that everything's fine with the massive new $62 billion deficit smashing through that $40 billion guardrail that Chrystia Freeland said was going to keep the Canadian economy safe. Trudeau's claiming that a sign that everything's fine is the Bank of Canada is cutting interest rates. Except, if you look at what the Bank of Canada is saying they're taking this measure because the Canadian economy is performing so poorly. Does everything seem fine when a government smashes through a $40 billion guardrail and tables a $62 billion deficit? Does everything seem fine when the government tries to give away $250 checks to everyone earning $150,000, then has to completely reverse themselves? Does everything seem fine when the Liberals bring in a temporary GST tax credit that businesses say they can't implement, that Trudeau himself says will be optional, and Canadians are told to keep the receipts, send them into the CRA, and hope for the best? Does everything seem fine where nobody knew who the finance minister was in a G7 country for 6 hours? Crime, housing, immigration, opioids, our border, it's all out of control. Nothing's fine. And nothing's fine with our challenge with the United States as President Trump comes back to office with a strong and fresh mandate, and Canada has a leader that is weak and has lost control. He's lost control of his caucus. He's lost the confidence of a fifth of his MPs. He's lost the confidence of his cabinet ministers and of the Canadian people. So if Justin Trudeau is so sure that Canadians agree with him that everything's fine, why doesn't he have the backbone to put that question to the people? Call a carbon tax election so Canadians can decide for themselves. So Justin Trudeau today tabled his economic update.
You see what's happening? Trump's not even in office yet, and the pressure is on Canada, and they are in shambles. The Canadian government is imploding. Harrison Faulkner, the Canadian government is imploding as we speak. Chrystia Freeland is out. Sean Fraser is out. How much longer does Justin Trudeau have left? And this is from WION News, and this is Harrison Faulkner on that program.
Harrison Faulkner is a journalist and host of Ratioed on True North, and he's now joining us on this broadcast from Toronto. Harrison, good to have you with us. What's happening?
Well, what's happening is Justin Trudeau's cabinet is imploding on itself, and it's happening at a slightly faster rate than I think even the most liberal-connected journalists anticipated. The news of Freeland's announcement today, as according to the reporting, took every local journalist and even the cabinet by surprise because, as you mentioned in your report, Freeland is set to announce the fall economic statement today. And now it's not clear who's actually going to release that statement, who's going to present it, as Freeland is no longer the finance minister as well as the deputy prime minister. But it's important to read into that statement a little more in depth. Chrystia Freeland, as you mentioned, one of Justin Trudeau's most loyal political allies, largely seen as the brains of the Trudeau operation, takes a shot at Justin Trudeau by saying that this country cannot afford, quote, costly political gimmicks in response to Donald Trump's tariff threat, which she describes as a possible tariff war. So this is some major breaking news, and it's a very bad day for Justin Trudeau.
Wow. This is huge. Holy cow. Chaos in Canada. Freeland resigned today just hours before she was supposed to report the fall budget numbers. Next person in line below Freeland then immediately resigned. Now Trudeau is considering resigning. Let's listen in.
Overrun. Mr. Speaker, just to underline the chaos we're faced with here, the finance minister resigned the day she was to present the fall budget, which was going to contain a massive deficit overrun. The job then went automatically to the industry minister, who immediately resigned, like on the spot, which then went down the line, and the next person in order was the famous two Randys. And they're not available to do the job either. We're now less than 2 hours away from the fall economic update. Why won't the Prime Minister have the courage to come in here, present it himself, and put it for a confidence vote tonight? Mr. Speaker.
Oh, it's going down. Viva Frey. It's actually insane, he says. Freeland resigns 2 hours before the full budget to be presented. The replacement resigns, refuses to take the helm. The Trudeau regime is going down, and it looks like it might be going down today. Gunter Eagleman. Trump has sent the Canadian Parliament into a tailspin. You just love to see it. What is she saying?
This is as serious as it gets. The finance minister quit hours before she was supposed to do this, and she doesn't have confidence in this prime minister. No one does. This man is a disgrace, and we need an election now.
Wow. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. I got more. Global News CA. Canadian NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says all options are on the table.
On top of that, right now Canadians are struggling with the cost of living. I hear it everywhere I go. People cannot find a home that they can afford. They can't buy their groceries. And on top of that, we have Trump threatening tariffs at 25%, which put hundreds and thousands of Canadian jobs at risk. And instead of focusing on these issues, Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are focused on themselves. They're fighting themselves instead of fighting for Canadians. And for that reason, today I'm calling on Justin Trudeau to resign. He has to go.
Will you declare no confidence in the Liberal government as soon as possible?
All tools, all options are on the table. People are hurting. People are struggling. And so all options are on the table. That means everything is possible. But what is clear, given what we have seen, Justin Trudeau and a Liberal government that are focused on themselves, they are infighting at a time when people cannot even do their groceries. They can't even find homes that are affordable. And we've got the threat of Donald Trump and 25% tariffs that mean hundreds of thousands of jobs are at risk. Because of that, I'm saying very clearly that Justin Trudeau has to resign. All options on the table. Thank you very much. Merci.
You guys see this? Just the threat of these tariffs has put Canada in a total tailspin, and now everybody is calling for Trudeau to resign. Now, I don't think that Trump had that in his 4D chess game lineup. I don't think so. But I love to see it because Trudeau has to go. Absolutely amazing.
As you know, I spoke with Canada, and Justin came flying right in because we talked about 25% tariffs. That's just the beginner. This is a hell of a nice crowd. I like this one.
Donald Trump is the boss. So the implications are staggering. Canada's government is in free fall, with top officials jumping ship faster than rats from a sinking vessel. But here is the question nobody's asking. Was this Trump's plan all along? I don't know. I mean, did he deliberately pressure Canada's weak spots to trigger the controlled demolition of globalist power on our northern border? Drop a comment below with your thoughts and show your support for America's expansion at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Our exclusive Mag Avengers collection, well, they are for patriots who understand where this is all heading. Also, make sure you check out our t-shirts and everything else. So don't wait. These pieces are going to be collector's items when Canada joins the Union.